Morning to all the students out there in the class, virtually. So let's just take a quick look around us. You can see there's a couple different varieties of fishing boats here. This blue boat here, the Graceland Jane, is a gill netter. The large blue one over there is the Francis Dawn, which is a trawler. The aluminum rig over there is a oyster grading barge. So this morning we are taking out a fishing boat called the Dee Dee May, which is also a trawler. Now trawlers are what they refer to as mobile gear, and what that means is that they'll let the net out behind the boat, which is called otter trawl. Usually they fish about 300 fathoms. Their net is spread out by a set of what they call doors, large metal doors that run along the bottom. On the top of the net is a bunch of buoys which hold the net open, and on the bottom they have what's called a roller frame, where based on if they're fishing on the rocks or the mud, it's either rock hopper or roller frame. So they'll tow that net at 2 knots for about 2 hours. You know, the fish will obviously move into the net. After 2 hours, they do a haul back. They bring the net back on the boat. They open up the cod end, separate the fish on the deck. They'll clean them, gut them, put them down below in the pens, cover them with ice, and then reset out again. The other boat here, the Graceland Jane, is a gill netter. This is referred to as fixed gear. Now, a gill net is essentially, it's a curtain that hangs on the bottom. When they refer to ground fish, what that means is that the fish stay close to the bottom, or ground fish. The nets are about 5 feet high. They have a set of floats on the top. On the bottom is a lead line, which keeps it secure to the bottom. The nets are about 150 feet long. They have a little buoy, little anchors on one end, on the other end to keep the net stationary. And then they have like high flyers on the ends so they can retrieve the nets. Typically, they'll set the gear, wait 12 hours, go back, and they'll lift. They call it a lift. They'll lift the gear back off the bottom, and they use what they call either a Crosley net lifter or something close to it. Basically, it's a circular drum that got little clamps on it, clamps onto the lead line, brings that net back on board. They'll pick the fish out of the gill net, clean them, gut them, put them down below, similar to a trawler. Typically, they catch a lot of pollock. They'll catch a lot of cod, which hopefully don't catch much these days. A lot of hake seems to be predominant. A few monks, very few flats. So that's sort of their mix of fish. Trawler, on the other hand, will tend to catch more different varieties of species. They'll tend to catch a lot more haddock. They'll catch a little bit of cod, a little bit of pollock, not as much. You know, redfish, flatfish like dabs, gray sole, yellowtails, the occasional halibut. So it's a little different mix of fish that they bring in. A little more variety, actually. These are all white hake. These are probably a sow hake. They get to be pretty big. So Nicole, what happened here is that the fish are all separated into these totes, fish boxes. So we have different culls of fish. Now the hake that just came through the hopper is culled into 4 different sizes: sows, large, mediums, and smalls. And then as we're pulling fish across, once we get 100 pounds or 103 pounds in a box, we pull it across the table onto the scale. We scan the species, and it creates a lot tag for it, and it goes into the database.
And then they go out on the floor?
Correct. Right. So we're also what we refer to as a receiving port. We receive fish here too. We get fish from New Hampshire, Kennebunk, Arundel, Port Clyde.
Yeah.
Stonington, all those areas. So we took the fish off the boat and put it in these exactants.
Hake mostly, huh?
Hake, cod.
Yep.
They're all haddock.
Yep.
Have some fish that are staged. This is small haddock that just came off the Dee Dee May. Scrawn haddock. Haddock, you can see, they refer to it as a devilfish. So why they do that is that, see, it's got this black nape on the inside. Huh. Also look at the black spot right here. You see that little black spot? That's the devil's thumbprint.
Ah, no kidding. Huh. I never knew that.
This is sort of like the Wizard of Oz, turning the dials and pulling the things. And
Yeah.
It's a little off here. Those are all the boats we landed today. So I moved them from landing, and they went from hailing to landing to landed to published. The published means I moved all the lots to the auctioneer program. So now I go into the auctioneer program itself, and what I do is I select the start time that we want to start the auction. And then these are all the different species or the culls of fish. And then I use the 2 prior auctions from last week to set the start prices.
I see. Yeah.
Right at
Here's the
books.
species that's being sold right now.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to change because the last lot of large pollock just got bought. So now we're on medium pollock. These are the lots that are available today. The price is here. It's going down. Nobody has started bidding right now. It's a Dutch auction style, so the price goes down until somebody jumps in, then it starts going back up again. Green arrow means it's going up. This is the number of bidders. It's a blind auction, so you don't know who you're bidding against. There's a last call timer. When it gets to 3, whoever bid the last price will get to pick which lots they want. They can take it all, or they can buy 1 or 2 at a time. You can see the
countdown.
countdown. So this is the buyer that just bought for $1.06. And now he's trying to decide which lots that he'll pick, and they come up in yellow.
And he knows that based on looking at them on the floor?
Yes.